So Paul is saying, if it's possible, please turn on your camera so Long Po can see you. Let's all pay respects to Long Po together. No?
So, how's everyone? Sani, you understand me?
Yeah, Long Po.
Yeah.
I think they are mostly smiling. They look okay.
No, I'm in Singapore.
Singapore?
Yeah. How is Singapore?
Singapore? I don't know. It's the same.
It's the same. Hot, humid.
It rained a bit the last few days, so not so hot. Yeah, but first part of the month was very hot. Yeah.
Practice is difficult, huh? Huh? Hmm? Yeah, we are fighting. We are fighting for something. Yeah? There's no harder work to do in our life, yeah, than the work of practicing, fighting the kilesas, fighting oneself. Yeah. What did the Lord Buddha say? It is easier as a single person to fight a whole army than to fight oneself. Yeah. And all the thoughts that you have, all the memories that are come up, yeah, come from yourself. Yeah. So yeah, don't believe them. Yeah. Don't trust them. And just know. Yeah, I mean, it's actually not easy. It's not difficult. Yeah. Whenever there's a thought, whenever there's a memory coming up, okay, not interested going back to the Buddha or going back to the breath. What was it difficult? I want to think about this. Yeah, where is this thought coming from? Well, and expectation. Huh? No. Huh? The moment, oh, I'm so close. Then you are so far away. Huh? When you do samadhi, oh, I'm so close. Yeah? No. Yeah? The moment the thought pops up, you know you are far, far away. Yeah? You have to start anew. Huh? Expectation makes us so much difficulties. Yeah? And leads us astray. Just do your practice, Bhutto, 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 yeah? Huh? When the mind goes out, return it to Bhutto or to the breath, yeah? That's it, yeah? And whatever happened will happen, yeah? No, now it's coming. It completely ruins your practice, yeah? Nothing is coming, yeah? It always comes, when we least expect it, yeah? That's when the results, when we're just, when we're just immersed in our practice, then the results are coming, yeah? When we're looking, one eye is looking, is it close, the other eye is looking on the Buddha or on the breath, it never comes. Yeah? Put both eyes, put your concentration on the on the Buddha or on the breath, and then samadhi will come by itself. Yeah, it can come very quickly. Yeah, I do remember in the beginning. After 2 years, 2.5 years. Yeah, I just sat down. Boops, I gone. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Was gone because I was not interested in anything. Being interested in this feeling or that feeling, in this vision or that vision, there's nimitta, this must make sense. Yeah, completely, it doesn't lead to anything. Yeah? Distraction of the kilesas, yeah? And the kilesas are very powerful, yeah? Otherwise you wouldn't be here, if they wouldn't be so powerful, yeah? Yeah, life after life, they drag us, life after life, yeah? Just one more life, yeah? Let's do this, I'm interested in this, I want to become this, I want to become that, yeah? And how many billions of life have we behind us? And each life, it's the same. We have dukkha, yeah? We have dissatisfaction, yeah? We are dissatisfied. We don't like this, we don't like that, we want this, and because of our karma we don't get it, we don't like that, or we want that, because of our karma we don't get it, and we get the things that we don't want, and we don't get the things that we want, and there's lots of dukkha. I mean, look what the world is doing, I mean, it's fighting, fighting wars for things, I mean, if it goes on like that, World War III is coming, it's very close, Everybody is in tension, because they don't like this, about the other country, they don't like that about the other country. It's the same with us, We don't like this about the person, we don't like that about the person, And sometimes, I mean, when you go home, they fight, They hit each other, Sometimes with fists, that is not so difficult, I mean, it's bearable. But if it comes to guns or knives, then that's very hurtful, I mean, find the peace within yourself, and then the whole world is at peace. Same as in the animal realm, they're constantly fighting, constantly being afraid, just like the human beings. Being afraid of this, being afraid of that, being afraid of death. What is wrong with death, I mean, the moment we die, we are reborn. So, it's just that, it's just one of the stages, you go through death, and then you're reborn again, Unless you make it, make it your last life, And say, okay, bye-bye, never come back again. Wow, that would be nice, that would be fun, Okay, that's enough, Are there any questions? Sani, how many people are there?
There are 21.
Wow.
21 people online. So, so anyone with questions, you can unmute yourself to ask the question. Or anyone wants to go first? Okay, Fang, you're still on mute. Okay.
Fang.
Yeah. I have some questions that I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
I heard that if you delegate marriage, right, you can only delegate marriage to the dead. But the live person actually can redelegate marriage and they will receive within this lifetime?
I mean, if you earn some money, you can give it to anybody that you like.
Okay.
It's the same with marriage. Yes, you can give it to the people, you can give it to the people who are alive. You can give it to your parents, It's much more worth, than any money that you give to them. I mean, if they can use it in this life or in the next life, that, I don't know, That depends on,
Okay. Then the other thing I will ask about precept speech, regarding speech. So actually, if I talk to someone and I have a good intention to help the person, but
to what?
it turned out I have the intention to help the person.
To hurt the person.
To help the person.
Help the person.
Misguide the person, But then end up I hurt the person. The person end up crying. So actually, it's unwholesome or it's considered a harsh speech.
No. I wouldn't say that, I mean, that depends on your intention that you normally don't see.
Okay.
The intention is that creates karma. And most of the people don't even know their intention. They think they do something good, but their intention inside is, I mean, evil or, I mean, not good. I mean, you see it, I mean, there's a very nice example, especially in the West, there are a lot of nurses, who help patients, They want to help, but they don't want to help because they want to help. They want to help because they want to have recognition, So the intention is to get recognition. Oh, you're such a good person, you help all these people. That's what they're after. They're not after, helping really other people, They're after the recognition that they are good people. So that is their true intention. But they don't know this true intention. And that's why, most of these nurses, burn out, sooner or later, because they don't get this recognition. If it is a person who really wants to help people, he doesn't need to have a recognition, or praise from other people, because he likes to do it. That is the true intention, yeah? So, for speech, it's the same thing. What is your intention? What is your true intention? If you practice, and sometimes your intention, yeah, and then it's okay. And it's the same thing. You give somebody a gift, and he cries, or he gets angry, but your intention was true, yeah. So, what he does, yeah, what he does with the gift or what he does with the help, it's his karma. What you do is your karma. Okay?
Okay, thank you. I have no more questions.
Yeah. Tell your parents, to get you yeah? Huh? Let you go. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay, next.
Next, Brad. Yeah, you're not me, sir.
Okay, so?
Hi, Venerable Ajahn Martin. I
Yeah.
just want to find out, I've achieved some ability or stability or stillness during meditation, but I don't understand what is this luminous mind that I hear some Ajahn talking about, and even you mentioned luminous. Do you see some kind of light? What exactly is that?
Me talking about a luminous mind? Yes, but that is a very, very late stage, that is when you see a vicha, yeah? That's a very late stage, yeah? No, you can see light, that really depends on, yeah? The important thing is, when you go into samadhi, some people see light, yeah? The concentration, it's just a sign of concentration. They see a strong light, that means the concentration is quite strong, yeah? So, instead of going out towards the light, pull the light inside, yeah? But normally, if you don't pay any attention to the light, you just get calm, yeah? It's a stillness.
So it's okay if you don't see any
No,
light?
doesn't matter. Yeah. In the beginning, in the beginning of my practice, I saw a lot of nimittas, but I never paid any interest to it. And then now I don't see them anymore. Yeah. It's just like, just like thoughts, just don't pay any interest to them, and then you don't see them anymore. Yeah. The kilesas only, attack you with the things that you're interested. Yeah. That's how they pull you out. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be. It can be stillness, it can be happiness, or it can be peacefulness, whatever it is. Yeah, that depends on your characteristic tendency. The important thing is, when you enter samadhi, you enter it. Yeah, and while you're there, yeah, nothing disturbs you. Yeah, when you come out, yeah, you feel refreshed and re-energized. That is a sign that you've been in samadhi. Whatever happened during the samadhi, if you're just stillness or just peacefulness or just happiness or just joy, that depends on that depends on your characteristic tendencies. Yeah. So you don't have to have that light. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, Megan.
Hello, Longpo. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Longpo, I have a question around practice. I have been trying to simplify my life in order to support my practice. And I've gone through, what I see is that over time, and this is not a very long time, I'm talking maybe a few weeks, a month or so, although my mind is quieter, there is a heaviness in the quality, like something that is akin to sadness. It's not sadness, because I'm not sad. It's just that my heart is not it doesn't have that same lightheartedness as sometimes you can reach when you come out of samadhi, that kind of joy. And So my question is this something that, does it mean that there's something that is wrong with the way I'm practicing? Because one of the guides, that signs that I take as being on the right path of practice is that you become happier and happier. Right?
That's not true.
Well, not happier, but like more lighthearted.
That is also not true. I mean,
Okay.
over time, yes, yeah. But in the beginning, I mean, you have to face everything that is in your heart, and the heaviness of your heart, shows you that there are a lot of unsolved problems that will come up, during your meditation or after your meditation, that you have to face up, yeah, and resolve. And then only once you resolve this, when you suppress this, then it stays in the heart, yeah. I mean, the things will come up, yeah. You resolve one by one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. And if there's nothing to resolve anymore, then of course your heart is very light, yeah. But it can take years, not weeks. You understand that?
And yes, I just wanted to confirm that doesn't mean that I'm on the wrong.
No. I mean, if you get into samadhi and if you get some peacefulness or some happiness, that is fine, yeah. But there will be sometimes, when you practice, yeah, you will not get into samadhi, but things, from the heart, yeah. I mean, samadhi is just like the key that opens your heart, yeah. And whatever you stored, in your whole life, yeah, or in previous life in your heart, will come up. Huh? It is like, like you have in a house, you have an attic and put all the things there and don't want to look at it, yeah. And now we open the door to the attic and all the things, yeah, are thrown at us, yeah. And so you will remove them one by one until the heart becomes light, yeah. So there's nothing wrong with the practice, but over time, all these difficulties that you pushed into the heart will come up, yeah. So be prepared, yeah.
And to resolve them, it's just by continuing to observe them.
To look at them, yeah. And if, most of the things, you look at them and you re-experience the things, and you let it go, yeah. You say, okay, yeah, or where it's coming from, yeah. Or sometimes you cry, that's okay, yeah. And you just let it go. Don't push it away, yeah. Just be open, just receive them with an open heart, yeah.
Thank you, Hong Kong.
Okay. Are you in the US or where?
No, I'm in Hong Kong.
I see the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. No, it's just the screen.
Okay. So, next.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Dear Lombo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so long that I haven't talked to you, but yeah, I'm still grateful for your talks. Yeah, today I came up with 3 questions. First of all, yeah, I mean, like a lot of people ask, but I want to receive from you because like I'm trying to do meditation and like if it is more than 60 minutes, then I have kind of pain arise.
Yeah.
So I still can get over it, and I just want to get some advice and yeah.
Yeah, investigate. Yeah, then we start investigating the pain. I'm talking very often about how you investigate the pain. The first thing is to accept it. Yeah? And you don't like it, and that's what the problem is, then you cannot solve the problem. You have to like it, I mean, you have to accept it, you have to feel it, you have to ask yourself, what is pain? I want to really feel it. And then you ask yourself, where is the pain? Yeah? Where is the pain? And, is it in the skin? Is it the bone? Is it, where is it? You cannot find it, yeah? And then, if you do it correctly, it moves to another point, yeah? And then you see, and when you get up, there's no pain. Where has it gone?
but the problem is that when pain arose, then I didn't like it. I was trying to be patient as much as possible.
Yeah, don't be a yogi. Nah? Don't be a yogi. Just accept pain.
Yes.
It's not easy. I mean, we have to go through. Yeah. In the end, we have to die, and that is much more painful than when you sit for 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accept
Thank
it.
you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, because today I have dedicated to do like 3 hours meditation. I mean, like to observe the pain as really it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I promised myself and I took 8% today, but I'm scared that I cannot do it because but I will really try. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, you feel pain during the day. I mean, yeah. Are you scared of the pain? No. You feel it. It is not pleasant. Yeah. So accept it. Yeah. Being afraid of something, makes you go the wrong path. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. And I have like 2 questions more.
Yeah.
Because like today I cleaned the room and I saw some ants running, and I mean I didn't have any intention to kill them, but I saw some of them are dying. I don't know, is it because of me or not? And I don't want to do cleaning because like I saw very small animal and I don't want to have like
that is clear. The intention is there. You don't want to kill them, but you can sweep them out or you can wash them out. I mean, it's okay. Yeah. If they die, that wasn't your intention. Yeah. If you go and see an ant or a small animal or a rat, and hit it, in order to die, that is bad karma. Yeah. But if you just sweep them out, that is not their house. Eh? This is not your house. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I just, the heart is feeling something is not pleasant because like they are dying. I mean, I don't do anything, but just like they die on the way. So, I have that kind of problem inside my heart.
Yeah.
I want to
You should look at your heart more than at the dying ants. Yeah. Yeah. There are much more difficult problems in your heart. Yeah. You do things, yeah. You do things. You say words, that hurt other people. That is much more. Yeah.
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 And my last question is because like I'm doing research, in my lab, and we use the bacteria sample under the microscope. So I asked my supervisor like do they have consciousness? My supervisor told me they don't have consciousness, but I'm scared like even though like do you think like bacteria have life, or if I am like trying to do some kind of analysis because
I wouldn't worry about bacteria. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have consciousness. I mean, yeah, I mean it's a life form. Yeah, but it's a very low life form. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. It really helped me. Yeah. Yes, I will try.
Where are you from?
I'm currently now in Prague.
In where?
I'm from Myanmar. I'm from Myanmar, but I'm now in Prague.
In Prague, in Thailand, or?
Yeah, I came to your monastery in 2023. I'm from France, and now I'm in Prague, in Czech Republic. Yes.
Okay. 2023, I can't remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Longpo.
Anyone else with questions? Can you raise your hand? Rohan? Yeah.
Good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
I wanted to ask a follow-up question. Someone asked earlier that, dedicating merit to your parents or dead relatives.
Yeah.
What exactly is the procedure to dedicate this merit? Does it work or is it just a gimmick kind of thing? I don't know.
I mean, it's
just giving, but I'll receive.
No, I mean, you don't have to inform the people that you're giving them merit, yeah? I mean, you picture the person, yeah? I mean, if you remember his face, you picture the person and said, I want to share the merit, of my of my day or of my previous days or of this year, with you. That's it. But you have to think it, and you have to picture, you really have to intend, to share the merit of your practice, or of your good deeds with these people, Very simple, actually.
What I do is that after my morning meditation or any meditation session, at the end of the session, I just, picture these images of their images in my mind, and I just say to myself, I dedicate this merit to these and these.
Yeah, I mean,
this meditation.
I would phrase it like, may you take part in the merit of my actions, or of this session, Or I want you to take part, I want to have merit, so that it is clear,
Okay, a little bit of selfish question, by the way.
Yes.
Dedication of merit.
Yes, I know. I remember, in the beginning, if I give all my merit away, I don't have any merit anymore. But actually, the more you give merit away, the more merit you have, Whenever we give, we get things back, So, don't be selfish, for the first few times, it will be like this, but after a while, you enjoy giving the merit, Or sharing the metta in your heart with other people,
Yeah, sometimes what happens is that I only restrict myself to my family members in my home. But then I feel like more generous, then I extend to my more relatives, and then it goes more and more and more. And ultimately, I feel that I'm doing over it. So I feel like it may be a disadvantage to my own practice. Is that a wrong view?
That is not a disadvantage to our practice. That is wrong view. It is an advantage to our practice.
So it's only better that you can delegate more and more.
Yes. If we have things, we can give, who gives, gets back, and gets back tenfold, or hundredfold, So. But yes, I know, I understand it, I had the same kind of thoughts in the beginning, but now I don't really have the thought, Okay?
Another question is that another person who asked about that their heart is feeling heavy and that lots of people are opening up, revealing themselves in their heart. So similar things, I wanted to ask that just by observing these things in your heart and letting them go, does this process resolve them by itself?
Not necessarily, what you can do is, after successful samadhi meditation, then go with your attention to the heart, and look if something is coming up, Or look at the heaviness of the heart whenever you feel it, and there might be something coming up. If there's nothing coming up, okay, let it go. If there's something coming up, it will show itself, And it will only show itself, if you are able to deal with it, If you're not yet able to deal with the result, what is coming up in your heart, it will not come up, Be assured of that, Only things, that you can deal with will come up, and sometimes it's heavy, sometimes it's very painful, So, what you can do is, when you see the heavy heart, look at it, concentrate on it, and see if something comes up. Nothing comes up, it's not yet time for it to reveal itself, So don't worry too much about it. Sooner or later it will come up.
Yeah, so for example, in my situation, what happens when I'm in certain social situation and some fears or anxiety comes up, and my body really stiffens up, gets tight, the muscles get tight. So I'm talking about these kinds of things. The more and more I see these things, do these get resolved by itself?
That is fear. That is fear. What you experience is fear. It's not that the heavy heart, where things, suppressed. It is fear. Then ask yourself what I'm afraid of. You have to ask some questions, for investigation to get that resolved. You have to ask some, question, What I'm afraid of, I'm afraid of, what other people think of me. I'm afraid of that I'm get scolded. Am I afraid of, getting fired from my work or whatever? Yeah. What am I afraid of? Or am I afraid of getting hurt? Or am I afraid of getting died? Ask yourself these questions. Yeah. What are you afraid of? Yeah. And try, if you see, the heart is tense, try to open it up. And once you open it up, then, the real fear comes out, and you know what it is about.
Yeah, so this is what I do, that, when this fearful situation come, I really try to accept it and take my refuge as the breath or the Buddha. That awareness, I take it as my refuge so I can, relax into this situation and really open to this situation, this fearful situation. So it subsides after a while.
Yes, it subsides after a while, but it comes back because you have not asked the question, what am I afraid of? Okay. Of course, you do these things, with the Buddha, you can relax, and the things, slowly disappears, yeah. But you still, next situation, the same thing happens again, yeah. So you have to ask yourself, what am I actually afraid of, yeah? And what is there to be afraid of? There's nothing in this world that we are afraid of, yeah, or we need to be afraid of. Yeah?
But my brain stops answering any question when I ask myself that what am I afraid of? It just stops literally giving any answer. It just stops.
You have to be a little bit more persistent, yeah. Go a little bit more in the feeling, see the situation. After the situation happened, you know the situation, and after your meditation set, recapitulate, this fear or the situation, and then see what you're afraid of. Yeah, see exactly. That's why I always ask people, to do the daily reflection. So, what before you come into the situation, what kind of thoughts, what kind of memory? That gives you a hint of what kind of fear it is. Yeah. What kind of memories come up? What kind of situation? What do I see? What do I interpret? All these things. Yeah, if you do the daily reflection, then you will see clearly what kind of fear it is. Yeah. Once the fear is gone, you cannot you cannot investigate it anymore. Okay.
Yes, I have actually very terrible memory.
Yeah, that's why we train it. Huh? If you train it daily, the memory will get very good. Yeah. But people forget it because it is, it's bothersome. Yeah. And sometimes we just don't want to remember what we did. Yeah. We don't want to remember how we felt. Yeah. The kilesas just want to play. That they're never responsible for any of their actions. Yeah? So, and with this reflection, it doesn't matter, if your memory in the beginning is not good, but you remember a few things, and you do it, a week, and then you remember more, and you will see each time you remember a little bit more, and that's fine, it's a process, okay?
So, what ultimately will it be something like that? I will get an epiphany, very deep insight. Once I really see this memory to the exact detail. Sometimes,
it takes a while, it takes a while to dig a hole, In the beginning, the insight is not very deep, but, the more we dig, the deeper the insight gets. The more we practice, it's all practice,
So, okay, one thing I want to ask that, right now, what should be my main goal whenever this situation arises? Should I be with the awareness, the Buddha, or should I ask pressing questions like why, what am I being fearful of?
No, I would do it. I would do it afterwards. I would recapitulate the situation. During the situation, of course, awareness is the most important thing. If you're aware in the situation, then once the situation is over, then you go back into the situation with your memory, and see what is actually happening. Okay. And the more awareness you have during the situation, so if you stay with the breath or with the Buddha during the situation, the more you understand what actually is going on.
So that itself is also a learning part. The awareness part is also.
Oh yeah, it's very important. It's very important. I mean, I remember, there are certain times when I did that, I went to work and, suddenly, 4 hours have passed and I didn't know what I was doing, what I was thinking, what I was saying. And then I put more, I said, okay, tomorrow in this situation you will be more aware, yeah? And then, okay, I was a little bit more aware, and then I caught a little bit, and then each time, I was more and more and more aware of it, until, it was so clear, I understood instantly, what the situation was about, yeah. And for years, I was falling in the same hole, boom, gone, just like blanked out, yeah. But the more I use this awareness, and the more I use the reflection, the daily reflection about it, the more understood, yeah. So it's a process, it takes some time. Patience is what we don't have, yeah. Patience, equanimity, yeah, being calm about, yeah, patience. Yeah. If it doesn't work the first time, it will work the second time, or the third time, or the 100th time, or the 1000th time, sooner or later it will work. Okay? Don't play too much with your phone, yeah?
Yes, thank you. One last question. Can I ask one last question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my sitting meditation for some time is not going anywhere. Like, I feel it has become like a boring job for me. I just do, in the morning I sit up, and at most I can do 30 minutes, and then after that I feel like I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going deep in the meditation. I don't know what's the exact hindrance. Is that the sense hindrance because I am listening to music? Because music run in my mind as well. Or I'm eating food. What exactly is the cause? I don't know. Please guide.
Boredom. Expectation that something has to happen. Yeah. You're not interested in your object of meditation. You're not interested in every aspect of the Buddha or every aspect of the breath. Because if you're interested in every aspect of the breath, you never get bored. And who tells you that, this is not going anywhere? It's the kilesas. Yeah? They want to stop you. Yeah? They want to stop you from practicing. It's worthless, it's not going anywhere. Just stop, Huh? No?
But are these sense hindrances maybe the reason?
Yeah, there are hindrances, of course.
About?
Yeah, of course there are hindrances, yeah? Boredom, the moment you're interested, okay, what is boredom? Yeah? Boredom disappears. Just like, when you ask what is fear, the fear disappears because the interest in these things, becomes so strong that the concentration comes back, and then there's no more boredom. Yeah?
I have this weird perception of the breath and the Buddha as being just another conditioned phenomenon. Like, it's not like it's an awareness itself. It's just a bodily phenomenon that I'm. So what's exactly interesting about it? It could be any other word as well. Might as well be let go. Some teachers also teach that.
When you look at your phone and constantly Buddha is coming up, you won't look at your phone anymore. Yeah? If you have an app that constantly displays Buddha, or one picture, the same picture, and then the same picture again and again, you won't look at it. Yeah? It's the same thing. Of course, yes, there are bodily functions, or the mental functions, yeah, but you have to look, because if you think, each breath is the same, you are completely mistaken. Yeah? It's not true. Every breath, has a unity in itself. Yeah? It's not the same. When does the breath start? When does it get to its height? When does the in-breath goes down? Yeah, and when does it go from the in-breath into the out-breath? Yeah, so much interesting. Okay. You're bored, I mean, I said, don't play so much with your smartphone. The more you play with your smartphone, the easier you get bored, with these things, yeah?
Yeah, I listen to music a lot.
Yeah, that is also, it's distraction. That's what the kilesas love, yeah? Distraction, yeah? Look at your actions, doing that, I mean, if you listen to music, what are your thoughts when you listen to music, yeah? Do you actually listen to the music, or you just, think about something while you listen to the music? I mean, observe, this awareness is very important. That's why I said, daily reflection will cut down on all these distractions, yeah? Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, it's not easy. Okay? Sani, when are you ordained?
Not sure.
Not sure.
Maybe next life.
Next life. I mean, you don't know where is the next life, maybe you cannot ordain next life, yeah? Maybe in 10 lives, yeah? So, what is it? What is your question?
Anything?
I had a question because lately well, it's a bit in contradiction with my follow-up question, but lately my life is quite good, and I feel less motivated to practice. I mean, I have suffering. Of course, I still have struggles with things, but I don't feel like I suffer as much as I've done before. Like I feel mentally quite fine, and before I didn't, and I don't want to get lost of it, but I just feel less motivated, and I'm not sure how to deal with it the right way.
Well, I mean, first of all, you can, there's dukkha, anicca, anatta, yeah? I mean, you can look at these three doors, to the deathless, yeah? Dukkha. I mean, when you get up, sometimes you don't want to get up. That's already discontent, yeah? Dukkha, yeah? When you're hungry, it's dukkha, yeah? When you're thirsty, it's dukkha, yeah? When you need to go toilet, it's dukkha, yeah? When you're tired, it's dukkha, yeah? That is just a bodily dukkha, yeah? And next life you have again a body, and then you go through the same stages. You want to learn to walk, you want to learn to talk, ask yourself, yeah? Do I want to be born again? Learn to talk, learn to walk, and learn to read, learn to write, go to the school for 10 years, Yes? Okay. Then I have no answer.
Before, when you talk like that, I was like, no, And now I feel like, well, if I'm hungry, yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand it. It's the suffering of the body, but I have good food, so it's easily fixed.
But that wasn't the suffering of that wasn't the suffering of the body only. I mean, going to school is not suffering of the body, yeah? It's a mental suffering, I mean, with your comrades, I mean, learning something that you don't want to learn, and so on, yeah? Just go through your early stages of human, yeah? Being a schoolgirl again.
I have this small girl walking around now, and, I enjoy her, and I see how she gets to things, and I feel like, oh, that's so great, and then
but it cries.
What is wrong about that? It's so.
It cries as well.
Yeah, she does, of course, but not so much. Before I always thought the glass was half empty, and that really helped me with motivation with the practice. But right now, I feel like my glass is full. And even reflecting that way, it's just.
Yeah, but also see, I mean, when you see your little girl, I mean, you only see the happy moments. You don't want to see when she's crying or when she's in pain or when she's sick, You don't, you push it away. You only see the smile in the face, and then you are happy, she is happy, and you are happy. Yeah. I mean, we push out so many things. Yeah. I mean, when you go in the street, of Holland, I heard there are a lot of people who protest for Gaza, for the Palestinians, yeah, 100,000 people, yeah. So when you go along the street and you see something that you don't want to see, what you normally do, you put you turn your head around and look for something pleasant, huh? Yeah. Now we train ourselves to look for the things that we don't like to see, yeah, and feel it, yeah, instead of turning our attention away from the things that we like towards the things that we like to see. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And do you have advice in how I can do this really, practically? Should I simplify my life and make it less comfortable for myself to really experience that? Or
I mean, I don't think it is really comfortable, but you don't see it, yeah? You don't see the daily discomfort. I mean, just pay attention, Also daily reflection, I mean, reveals all these things, all the things, I mean, these thoughts, that are not really nice and disturb us, the memories that disturb us, yeah. I mean, also the situation with your colleagues, it's not always nice, yeah. They're sometimes in a bad mood, and then they shout at you, yeah. I mean, so, but we push it away. Yeah? I mean, remember the times, yeah, when we first fell in love, yeah. I mean, the whole world was, rose red, yeah. I mean, nothing could touch us, yeah, because we didn't see it. And then after a while, I mean, we saw all the dark shadows, in our life, and we got back to the. It's only the way that we see things, yeah.
Yeah, and I understand, because I saw the other side too, and now I'm in a good mental world.
Yeah. See the dukkha. See the dukkha or see the anicca, yeah. That things are impermanent. Whatever you create, will be destroyed, yeah. Thoughts come and go, yeah. Or see the anatta, yeah. That the things that you observe are not you. Yeah? I mean, you can use all sorts of things, yeah. But I mean, unless you want to be reborn again and again and again, yeah. It's your choice, yeah. Ask yourself the question, yeah. And then go back in your memories, of your own childhood, yeah. Because we only see what we want to see. We don't see the things that we don't want to see. Yeah? Okay?
I have another question which is contradict because, well, I still have struggles, of course. You told me, if I heard you say before, don't get interested in thoughts, except maybe when a certain thought comes up really often.
Yeah.
And lately I'm having periods when thoughts attack me of bad things I've done, or a certain period which I did things which were not really okay, and those thoughts keep coming back to me. It was a certain period when I could just let it go, and it was in the past, and I tried to cope them. But now these thoughts are the same thoughts are coming up. And
okay. Okay, let's just bring it up, yeah. So what you can do is, first of all, you forgive yourself. The second thing is you accept the karma from these things that you have done, and you mentally ask the people that you have hurt for forgiveness. You do that 3 or 4 times, and then these kind of thoughts don't come again.
Okay.
Yeah. Very, very simple, actually. And maybe you have to do it 5 times, It depends on, how true our heart is towards this thing, to forgive, and ask other people for forgiveness. Okay?
Yeah, because there was a period that I could do it, did a sort of in that way, and I was all right, But now.
Yeah, that is okay, because sometimes we think, this is all right, and then sooner or later we realize that wasn't that really that great, So, forgive yourself, accept the karma that comes out of the situation, be it good or be it bad, and then, if you think you hurt somebody else, ask him for forgiveness, But you don't have to write a letter or you don't have to call, I mean, in your mind you ask for forgiveness for this person, And you do that a few times, and then these thoughts don't come again. Okay?
Is that usually the way of how to deal with thoughts that come up, even if
it is, the kilesas of course bring it up because, I mean, they want to, want to distract ourselves, That's why, it is so important to keep the 5 precepts when we practice. So, there's nothing, that can come up, oh, you've done this, you said this, I mean, As long as we are within the 5 precepts, I mean, our practice, goes very well,
Yeah, well, luckily it's something...
But, from the past, and that's what we have to resolve, And the more we resolve, also our heart becomes lighter, Okay?
Last question.
Another question. Oh, wow.
The last question.
Yeah?
You're gonna laugh, I think, but I fell in the trap again and I'm pregnant for the 2nd time.
You fell?
I fell in the trap again and I'm pregnant for the 2nd time.
Well, I mean, now you go through birth again, I mean, this is painful, giving birth, no?
Oh yes, I had no epidural, so yes, it was very painful, but it was quite fast. So.
Okay, But all these things, all this kicking and things, and morning sickness and so on, I mean, okay, I mean, you choose the way to go, and you get it, I'm sure that I'm sure that your boyfriend is happy.
Yes.
See? I mean, that is the life that you chose, and that's why it's happening to you. Okay? Make the most out of it, I mean, it's a lot of merit, to have children and to educate children, to raise them, That is a lot of merit, Okay?
But the question about this was like, when you have, when you sit in meditation and you have pain, the instructions for that, but I dealt, luckily it's a bit over now, but it really felt with a lot of headache and like physical endurance, and when then I try to meditate, I don't feel like it switches, my headache don't switch, and it just stays whatever I do. And then I'm not sure.
No, that is okay.
Right? Or what should I do with...
No, I mean, accept it. Accept it and concentrate more on the Buddha or more on the breath, and then it goes into the background until you, I mean, if you go into samadhi, you hardly feel it anymore. That's what I normally do, when I have a splitting headache, I meditate, and then it just goes, I mean, it's all training, it doesn't come, just like clockwork, Okay?
It's difficult, especially when the motivation is less. Like,
I mean, life is not easy.
And it's so weird because like a few years ago, I really doubted, like, what direction do I want to go? You know, I had 2 points. I was really into Buddhism, and I thought, oh, maybe I really want to go that way. But, you know, I've been with my boyfriend for a very long time, and then I think, no, I choose that way. But at the same time, you know, it's 2 different lives fully. But at the same time, yeah, well, I chose this because it's more comfortable, more easy, more places went. But yeah,
we have so many choices in life, yeah, and most of the people choose, you know, the way, you know, the easiest path, yeah. But actually, the easiest path is the more difficult path.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, accept it, yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can do now, yeah. You wait until the next child is, you know, thrown out of your body, yeah. And then you go through the same stages, you know, crying all night long, you don't get any sleep.
Yeah, it seems so stupid. I can't think in 2 ways, you know, and it's so the opposite of each other. It's
Yeah, well, that's life.
well.
Okay, accept it. Okay. So, any more, Sani?
Yeah. Anyone else with questions to us? Can you raise your hand?
Okay. I have a question that how does the meditation that you talk about in general that involves the detail looking at the breath or the Buddha or the mantra or something, and so isn't that also in the realm of vitakka and vichara, because you are doing the analysis of the thing and the mind is engaged? Is that correct or not?
I don't completely understand your question. What?
Okay. I will say that, like, when for example you are trying to meditate, that you're trying to maintain sati and you are paying attention to the breath, so you are engaging the mind. So I am actually asking, isn't that also vitakka and vichara, because you are doing analysis and engaging the mind at a simple repetitive level, but it is nonetheless thinking?
Yes, of course it is thinking, you know, but we concentrate on one point, yeah? I mean, yes, if you do the Buddha, it is thinking, yeah? I mean, but observing at the same time, observing the thinking, yeah? And it's the same thing, you know, when we do the breath, we observe the breath, yeah? So there is something that observes, there's an subject, the observer, and there's the object that's observed. Yeah, if we use the Buddha, we install the Buddha first so that we can observe it until it becomes automatic, you know, and then we can observe it even more. Yeah, that is okay, you know. In the end, you know, I mean, the more you get concentrated, you know, I mean, it will end, you know, either the breath stops, you know, and then you know the breath stops, and then you go into one-pointedness, or, you know, I mean, the Buddha, you cannot even think one more thought, yeah? And then you know that this, you cannot think one more thought, and then you go into the knowingness, and then, I mean, the duality disappears, and there's unity, you know, there's one-pointedness, yeah? But before that, you know, it's upachara samadhi where, you know, where suddenly there are no more thoughts, you know, no more distracting thoughts, you know, there's just a thought of Buddha, and you're completely satisfied, yeah? Yeah, of course we have to use it. I mean, the Lord Buddha talks about how to practice, you know. I mean, yeah, to think too much about it, you know, if this is correct, you know, yeah, yes, we have to use thought, yeah. We use thoughts as a, you know, as a crutch, you know, to get to the point, you know, where we don't need for thoughts anymore. Okay?
So when as you said so nicely, thank you for that. That when the process actually stops, and is that also like the threshold of the upachara samadhi that you talked about, or not?
That is the end of upachara samadhi and the beginning of appana samadhi. One-pointedness is appana samadhi. As long as there is the observer and the object observed, that is still upachara samadhi. Yeah. But there shouldn't be any.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any distracting thoughts, I mean, you should feel safe, When you come out of Upachara Samadhi, you feel concentrated and you feel re-energized, It's just charging your batteries, yeah? Then you know you've been into Upachara Samadhi, yeah? Some people, I mean, go and see, that is nice and cool, close the door in front of them instead of going into Upachara Samadhi. I mean, then it was a nice meditation, but they feel tired. Yeah? That means you have not actually entered. Yeah? So go in and close the door behind you and enjoy, yeah? While you're still with the Buddha or while you're still with the breath, yeah? But enjoy it, when you come out, you feel really concentrated and really refreshed. That is a sign that you actually have entered. Yeah? When you feel tired afterwards, that means you just got a preview of it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. As you use the word entry, so how does the broadly speaking, going into the second phase, is that how does the stream entry connect back to the meditation?
How does what?
The stream entry.
Yeah.
Sotapanna, being Sotapanna, and how does it connect to the meditation practice?
I mean, that you can only enter the stream, I mean, if you have done the work of wisdom. It has nothing to do with samadhi. We need samadhi to establish sati, this awareness, yeah? And this awareness, yeah, is like, our concentration concentrates, for instance, on the body, yeah? And the awareness is knows what is going on with the body and investigates the body, yeah? And, wisdom, is asking the question, yeah? And then you see, for instance, yeah? I'll give you a very simple example. You close your eyes and you see your body floating in front of you, yeah? And then you ask the question, what happens when I die? Or what happens when this body dies? And then you can see it very clearly what actually is happening. Yeah? That is a process of developing wisdom. Yeah? Or you take the body apart, I mean, you cut off in bits and pieces or in the 32 parts of the body, and you put it out in front of you, and then ask, where's the body? Because you only see body parts. What is the body? Yeah? These questions lead to wisdom. Yeah? So Sotapanna only comes, I mean, if you do investigation. Yeah? Understood?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Long Po, has been 1 hour already.
Yeah.
Anyone with any last questions would like to ask? I think we are good online. Long Po, there are 10 questions submitted prior to the session. Do you want to do it this time, or you can do the questions?
How many questions do we have? We can ask them at the talk, next week. Yeah. So okay, let's do the 10 questions. Yeah. Some of them are very easily answered. Yeah. Go back to the Buddha. This is one of the answers. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I try to maintain mindfulness throughout my day. Some days the mindfulness is really weak and scattered. Even though I try to use the breath overdose to bring myself back, my mind is still become lost in thoughts for a long time. Please would Ajahn give more advice on how to bring ourselves back more frequently?
I mean, practice of meditation is like, like training for a certain kind of sport, yeah? I mean, you train and train and train and you get better and better and better, yeah? It's the same thing. Be patient, yeah? Don't expect things to happen within an hour or within a day or within a year, yeah? Just go on practicing, yeah?
Okay. Next question. I sometimes listen to Dhamma talks on YouTube in lieu of formal meditation to settle my mind when my energy levels are low. Is this a form of unconstructive escapism, letting myself off the hook, that could hinder my overall practice?
No, I mean, it's okay, I mean, what is even better, I mean, sit like you sit in meditation and have an MP3 player or your phone and listen to a talk, yeah? Close your eyes and listen to the talk, yeah? That's okay. It's not escapism, yeah, I mean, it is helpful, yeah? Next.
I switch between Buddha and breath a lot during the day, not during meditation, but for the purpose of being mindful. Sometimes I even switch to the silent buzzing voice inside as told by Venerable Ajahn Sumedho, depending on the situation. If it's noisy, I prefer Buddha. Is it alright?
I would only switch to, to Buddha or to the breath, not to the silence, because that is not a stable point. Yeah, you always want to have an anchor. Yeah, if you have the breath, you have the anchor. It's always there. Or if you have the Buddha, it's the anchor is the Buddha, and you're on the right track. Yeah, but if you switch to the voice of silence, you don't know where you are. It's like, swimming in the big ocean, but you don't know where you are. You see the ocean, you feel the ocean, yeah, but you don't have a point of reference, yeah. So, point of reference is the Buddha or is the breath, yeah. I wouldn't use the other thing, yeah. Next.
I feel like I am developing okay in terms of the ability to be with the breath, Buddha awareness. I am getting more and more trust in this awareness of mindfulness, but my meditation is more or less the same. That is a struggle of body pain and sweat, where I am most of the time not peaceful. My whole attitude towards it is changing. I don't feel motivated to practice sitting meditation anymore. It feels like a boring job, and having no peaceful experiences in the recent is also making this practice dreary for me. I don't know what to do. This has been going for some time now.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. I mean, the answer I already gave, to one of the questions, Boredom, what is boredom? You're not satisfied with the things as they are. Yeah? I mean, you have to find some interest in it. The moment you are interested in something, there's no boredom. Yeah? And what he describes is absolutely pure boredom. And then, ask yourself, who tells you that this is all worthless? Yeah? It's a kilesa, yeah? They want, I mean, when I face this kind of situations, I think I'm very close to something that is revealing itself, and the kilesas are trying to prevent me to see. Then the thing becomes very interesting, then the hindrance becomes very interesting, and once you overcome the hindrance, then you're on the next level. Yeah. Next.
My mind ability to observe the unpleasant situations has increased a lot with the sati, where I am able to relax amidst situations which used to panic me a lot. But will there come a point where the very root of these panic-inducing situations end or dissolve? Will that happen by sati itself?
No, not by sati, by investigation. It will help, but I also answered the questions already, during the session. Yeah, it will come, by investigating, by reflecting, what actually is happening and what I'm afraid of. Yeah, but he should listen to the answer I have given.
Yeah. Following that, is it possible to stay in this state of awareness forever, so that one no longer has to willfully bring one to be aware of it?
Even the arahant, even an arahant doesn't have all the time sati. Yeah, I mean, it is impossible. I mean, it is quite impossible to stay, in this kind of awareness all the time. Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, you can stay for a long time. Yeah, if you practice and you don't have any work to do, and you practice all day, all night long, I mean, you can stay in this awareness. But that is not the goal. The goal is, to cut down on the kilesas by investigating. Yeah. Next.
What is kindness and how does it differ from metta, which is often defined as loving kindness? Thank you.
What?
the question is, what is kindness?
Yeah?
And how does it differ from metta, which is often defined as loving kindness?
Kindness, wishing somebody well, that is metta, yeah? Huh? Yeah. So I would say that's the same thing, I mean, being kind to other people, wishing them well, yeah? Okay, next.
Venerable Ajahn, how can we tell the difference between being calm and just being lazy? Sometimes I feel very peaceful watching the breath, which is fine while I'm sitting in meditation. But when I feel this peaceful while working and doing my lay person's duties, I wonder if I'm just indulging in laziness. Thank you so much for all of your teachings.
I wouldn't say that this, I mean, it can be laziness, but I wouldn't, laziness, laziness, at the bottom of laziness, there is some discomfort, yeah? I mean, if you're peaceful, if you're truly peaceful, then it's not laziness, huh? Laziness is, there's some, when you look underneath the laziness, there's some discomfort, you don't want to do anything, that gives you a hint, yeah? You're at discomfort, yeah? You have dukkha. Okay?
How to contemplate the first three links of dependence origination? Why sankhara conditions consciousness? Why consciousness conditions namarupa, and why namarupa conditions the six senses? Is this consciousness different from the sense consciousness which only arises after the six senses comes into existence?
I really do not understand, I mean, the Paticca Samuppada has been translated and sometimes completely wrongly translated. So I wouldn't take any, too much interest in it. Yeah, you can see it for yourself if you have very good sati. Then you can see it for yourself, and then you know what is what. Yeah, but why to bother with it? It doesn't lead to, even if you understand the Paticca Samuppada, it doesn't lead you to freedom. Yeah? I mean, you still have to investigate your attachments to this body, to the feelings. Yeah? If you cut it out, I did that for a while, for a year or so, I cut everything out. Yeah. But that didn't relieve me, that didn't let go of the thing. Yeah? Only once I investigated the things, then I can cut the kilesas off, the attachment to feelings, the attachment to thoughts, the attachment to thinking, to memories, to the body. Yeah? Only if I investigate it. Yeah? I mean, if you see the Paticca Samuppada, that's fine, maybe it gives you one insight, but that's it. Yeah? But it doesn't cut the fetters. Yeah? One of the 10 fetters, that binds us to the realm of birth and death, or rebirth, or samsara. Yeah, okay. So, finished?
About two more.
Two more. Okay. Quick.
Ajahn, you previously advised that we need to develop concentration for 50 minutes before picking one body part and study for 2 hours. Could Ajahn please kindly describe how to study one body part in great detail that lasts 2 hours? My usual practice is only to quickly going over the body parts. I see them as not self and take much less than 2 hours.
You don't see them as not self, you think of them as not self, and that is not the same as seeing them as not self. Yeah. I mean, I never said, investigating body, all the body parts. Yeah? I said, you'd make a tour through the body. Yeah? Whatever body parts interest you, that is, yeah, and you have to see it. You have to visualize it. Yeah? You have to see it as it is. Yeah? And that takes, it can take hours before you're actually, going to see it. It can take months or it can take years before you actually see the body part. Yeah? And only then can you ask questions about the body part. So you only take one of the body parts, or you chop up the body and ask, where's the body when they only see, body parts. Yeah? Or you can put the whole body in front of you, just like I said, and let it die and see what is happening at death. Yeah? The Chitta also all knows that, so it shows you. Yeah? But it takes time, patience, patience, patience. Okay, next, last.
Okay. Last question. Ajahn, previously you mentioned that Avijja is the emperor that sees things in duality and is different from delusion, which is not seeing the three characteristics of existence.
Yeah.
Could Ajahn please kindly explain how to overcome Avijja? Is Upachara Samadhi enough for this task?
I mean, you don't even see Upachara Samadhi, you don't even see Avijja unless you are an anagami. I mean, how can you deal with something, the mastermind behind delusion, greed, hatred, and delusion? If you have not overcome greed, hatred, and delusion. I mean, people, do you think, do you think the mastermind, do you think the general of three armies, is in the front of the three armies and you kill him and then the three armies disappear? That kind, it doesn't work this way. You have to, first you have to fight the armies of greed and hatred, and that is only done with investigation of the body. Yeah? Then you have to fight the army of delusion, that is within, within thoughts and memories. Yeah? I mean, this is a very tough task. Yeah? And only then, after you fought, the army of delusion, then you can see avijja. And then you will be stunned. Yeah? Okay? Oh, people. I mean, I just go into samadhi, yeah? Yes, I was so stupid and think the same thing. I go in the first jhana, okay, and then the second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and then I go in the arupa jhana, yeah, and then I was in the eighth jhana, and still, when I came out, everything was the same. Nothing changes. Yeah? Samadhi doesn't change anything at all, and if people don't understand it, but we need samadhi to foster sati, this awareness of what is going on in order to do investigation. Yeah? It is, the path to the end of dukkha is sila, is morality or the five precepts, is samadhi, the ability to concentrate on one point, and it is investigation, of the things that we are attached to, the five, the five khandhas. I mean, why is it so difficult to understand this? Why always asking, about all these things, It is clear. I mean, the Lord Buddha teaches like that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, Everything is in order, Why do people, just pick one thing that they like, and think everything will disappear? Okay? Makes me really angry, Stupid, it's stupid, Okay, so?
Yes, no problem. Yeah, I think that's all for today. Yeah, no more questions, no problem.
Okay. So let's finish for today. There were lots of questions,
Okay. Yeah, let us all pay respects to Paul by bowing 3 times together. Bow. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Paul, see you next time.
Okay, see you next time. Yeah. And Sani, when you're coming in December or what?
Not yet decided, no Paul.
Not yet decided, yeah.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, on Wednesday there will be in the evening there will be a talk, so you can ask questions. Yeah. Until then, you know, I mean, you got a lot of answers already. And don't give up. There's no work, yeah, that is more fruitful than the work of practice. Every other work that we do in the world, but I said it before, you know, I mean, becomes anicca, yeah, I mean, disappears. The house that you build disappears, you know, and the garden that you grow, you know, disappears, yeah. But the work of samatha, you know, the work of samadhi or panya, that does not disappear. But it's harder than anything else than the work in the world. Good. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, ปวดเข่า เข้าใจนิดน้อยเหรอ